Hey guys, what is going on? This is your old pal CHH, and we've got some really cool physical media updates today. Things that are coming out soon or and around the summertime, and there's a few that I am on the edge of my seat for because one of them is actually my favorite horror movie of the year so far. And there's a lot of great stuff, and we actually get to talk about the label Indicator today, which I have a few releases from them. I forget which country of origin they were. Clearly not America, but they're a pretty cool label. They have Blu-ray cases that are pretty similar to the size and thickness of like Arrow video cases. Night of the Demon, I think I have, or Night of the Demons or something. Not it's an old 50s movie. It's not the one from the 80s or whatever it was where it's Bigfoot. Sorry if that's a spoil. I might have just given a big spoiler. I apologize. Um, Maybe it's not even called Night. Anyway, I'm just gonna move on. But yeah, Indicator's a pretty cool release. I think they even put out Wolf, the Jack Nicholson film from 1984, which I meant to pick up when it came up, but it didn't. So we've got Scream Factory stuff, we have Umbrella stuff, we've got some of the major studio steelbook announcements and things like that. And I'm just really excited. This year is shaping up to be pretty good. It's not the best year ever, but it's so far it could get better. We're still waiting for some sort of Elm Street announcement. I'm hoping we get an Elm Street announcement soon. I'm in a good mood today, so I'm optimistic. But I will say this: if it doesn't happen this year, don't bring it up to me again. Don't message me asking me about it because if they don't do something for the 40th anniversary of the first film, kiss it goodbye. It's over. It's done. That's the way I feel about it. So let's get started, guys. The first thing I want to talk about for the Studio Ghibli people, which my wife is a big fan of these. The Boy and the Heron is this say it's coming out from G Kids, so I think that's Ghibli Kids. So I'm not even 100% sure if this is the American releases of this, but I will say this: Shout Factory, I think, has put out the majority of a lot of their stuff lately, unless that's the other studio, the Coley Studios, whatever. Regardless, this will get an American release. I think Shout Factory put out Coraline and those movies, which is not Studio Ghibli, but their stuff will come out. I think that's what Disney puts out their stuff in America, right? But this is coming out in July, so I would anticipate if this is not an American release, we will get some sort of announcement on that relatively soon. And I read some comments about something when it comes to Godzilla -1, so we're going to talk about that. But guys, let's talk about the announcements for Scream Factory. The first one I want to talk about is Dark Angel. So you'll see that at the top right. Dark Angel is a Dolph Lundgren kind of sci-fi action movie. It's actually a really good movie. I'm not sure how to feel about this one. I think I want to upgrade this, and one of the reasons is I got the Blu-ray really, really cheap on Amazon. I think I got it for about $8. Which is a shame because this is actually a really good movie. I don't know if this is some sort of underground title. This movie is also known as I Come in Peace. So Dolph Lundgren it's somewhat of an action buddy cop movie with a little bit of humor, but it's actually got some great action sequences in it. This was post Rocky 4, so where Dolph was really trying to get his footing. He had made some interesting movie choices up to that point. You know, he had been He-Man and things like that. There's even a funny story where Stallone visited Dolph Lundgren on the set of Masters of the Universe, and I think Stallone saw Dolph Lundgren in costume as He-Man, and Dolph was looking at the script for the day of the stuff he was doing, and Stallone walked up to the director and looked at him, and he goes, "You gave a guy dressed like that lines," which is pretty funny. So we have Stallone to thank for Dolph Lundgren. But I will say, if somebody was going to ask me what's one of the better Dolph Lundgren action titles from the golden era of that style of movies, Dark Angel would absolutely come to mind. He's got like a pretty cool love interest in here. There's good humor, but it's not something that takes precedent over the movie. It's a good action film, a really great villain with this guy that's this alien, and there's a great what do you call those car garages like in the city where it's like rows and rows of where you park cars. There's a really great sequence in there visually that I won't spoil. But yeah, this movie was also known as I Come in Peace, and it's really good. So I would recommend this movie, especially if you don't own it. I would anticipate this being a pretty good 4K. UHF, I've got to be honest, guys. I think I've seen this, but it might have been a very long time ago. My dad was a big Weird Al fan. That's pretty cool that we're getting that announcement. Down below, you'll see Red Sonja, which has Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. Ollie G into House, the movie, and then House of Gucci is getting a release. So that is some of the Scream and Shout Factory announcements. But the big one I want to talk about right here, guys, is Phantoms. Now, I got to be honest with you. I have not seen Phantoms. I've never heard of. That's not true. I have heard of Phantoms, but I haven't seen it. I don't know anything about it. My knowledge with Phantoms is this: the guy who plays who's the guy in Scream that gets he's supposed to be who people think killed Sydney's mom. The actor Liev Schreiber. Liev Schreiber is the actor's name. He talked about Phantoms briefly in the making of one of the Scream documentaries. I was like, oh, Phantoms, cool. I have no idea what this is about. I will pick this up. I hope it's a good movie. So yeah, I'm excited about Phantoms, and it's really cool, and I really hope the fans will support this, because I think it's very important when Scream Factory does go out of their way to put titles out on 4K that A, they never had licenses for before, and B, that are the first time on that format as well, or much less for them the first time. So I'm very excited to support that. I just hope that, you know, they see that the fans like that. Like, I don't know how Alligator sold. I don't know how um what was that? The Haunting of Julia. I don't know how that sold. I was excited about that. I begged people to support that. That way Scream Factory knows we're excited about that. But Phantoms, I think, was a pretty cool, from what I read. It seems like people like Phantoms. It's kind of like a, you know, like a just a cool mid-90s horror film, thriller, if you will. So excited to check that out. These are all slated for July. So there's your Scream Factory and Shout Factory 4K announcements for July. So that's pretty cool. Another thing I want to mention is this is cool. I'm a really big Prince fan, music fan. When I was a little kid, I would see Purple Rain on TV a lot. Um, I think here's the thing about Prince. If you guys could indulge me for just a second, I am a musician, a humble musician. I'm not that great. I'm okay at what I do. Um, but it's weird. As a musician, I learned that when you talk to other musicians about who they look up to, Prince is looked at as literally a god. And I get it. I started to learn how to play Purple Rain, it's not impossibly hard to play, but the chords and the progression, if you guys can just try to, I hope this will make sense to the non-music people. The song Purple Rain is written in a major scale. There's in a broad stroke, there's two scales of music: minor scales and major scales. Major scales are happy sounding songs. Minor scales are typically sad sounding songs. Purple Rain is written in a major scale, but it's written in such a unique way that Prince took a major scale song and made it sound so sad and emotional. It's remarkable. And I learned about that when I was talking to people that are big Prince fans. I've since become a big Prince fan. Prince and the New Generation, the album from '91 that they did, is so incredible. Such great big beat kind of R&B. Just, I mean, and then the Batman soundtrack. Prince really is that good. There will never be somebody as talented as him. He wrote and did everything. So I'm so excited. I'm so happy that they're putting out the movie Purple Rain on 4K. Obviously the discs are purple, and also the artwork is purple, and it's got the artwork from the record. So very awesome. Day one purchase for me. I got to be honest, I'm very happy about Purple Rain. That's coming from Warner Brothers in June, presumably. Another thing I want to look at, this is really cool. So this looks like some kind of really big, nice Dune Part 2 4K collector's edition release that comes in one of these big boxes. Not something I'm more than likely going to get. I'm perfectly happy just getting the release on 4K. I did see Dune. I did not review it for one reason or another. I probably should have, but I can give you my 2 cents now. I like the first one better, which I seem to be in the minority of that. I loved Dune 2. I mean, it really is that. It's all that and a bag of chips. It's some of the best outer worldly science fiction movies I've ever seen. But Dune 1, there was this foreboding build-up precursor to the entire movie that just had me on the edge of my seat, and I loved it. Dune 2 is great as well, but I think I like 1 just a hair better. But if you're a big fan and you're into these sort of big kind of box releases with booklets and art cards and things like that, I am happy to see studios doing collector's releases for things like this. That way they're feeling a need for, you know, that market. But yeah, but they're going to run the gambit on this, guy. So if you're a big Dune fan, or if if you want a regular release, I'm sure they're going to have that. They're going to have a standard steelbook release for that as well. the whole kit and caboodle. And of course, they'll do some limited stuff like this. This will more than likely just be available, I would think, on online, but we'll find out. We're gonna get formal announcements on all that stuff soon. So there's that. Twister, this is really cool. Twister has a 4K coming out on 7/9. What is that? June, is that July 9th from Warner Brothers as well. And this makes perfect sense because there's a movie coming out called Twisters. So that's the thing about that's one reason I'm saying, as much as I'm not really excited about the idea of them making, I'm not excited at the idea of them doing another Elm Street movie. I mean, I'd probably be a little excited just to see a Nightmare on Elm Street in the theater again. But one thing I would say is if it does happen, then finally we'd probably get some physical media for the old movies for sure if it doesn't happen this year, because this is what happens. They make a new movie, they remarket, and then republicize the original films. So Twister is getting its 4K, and it's also the anniversary. I believe this movie came out in 1994 as well. Great disaster flick. Super excited for that. And so that is coming from, I believe it's Warner Brothers, right? So yeah, their Warner Brothers seems to be kind of staying in gear with physical media and collector's releases. This is just something I want to talk about. This is a steelbook for Godzilla -1. This is not an American release. This is a Japan Toho release, presumably. And I was reading up on this. A lot of people are wanting to know, when are we going to get an American announcement for Godzilla -1 in 4K? The consensus, guys, seems to be that once Godzilla versus Kong comes out on physical media and that's over and done with, then we're going to get an American announcement for Godzilla -1. There's something about, because they're licensed characters from Toho, they don't want to compete with each other. They don't want to release this stuff at the same time. Now, you may be asking yourself, well, Christian, why did Godzilla -1 not come out on physical media months ago? Well, I guess it's because the hype and the promotion for the new American Godzilla movie was happening during that time. So they probably just figured, let's wait. So that makes sense to me. So I'm going to assume after Godzilla X Kong comes out on 4K and stuff in America, then down the road, we'll probably get the announcement from Godzilla -1. Who's going to put it out? I don't know. Shin Godzilla, I have the Blu-ray for that, but honestly, I can't even remember what studio put that out. I know it went out of print in America, so when it came out, you needed to get it. And now I have friends that'll say, dude, I'm trying to get Shin Godzilla, I can't find it. I'm like, yeah, I think it was kind of limited. So keep that in mind, guys. So, and now you might be asking yourself, well, Christian, what if I just try to get this one overseas? I highly doubt it's got American subtitles on it, because this is for the native country. So they're not going to put subtitles for a movie like that. Maybe they would. I don't know. But I just say, take a deep breath. And we've waited this long. Let's just continue to wait for that. But that is a gorgeous looking steelbook. And yeah, that's really cool. All right, guys. So the next thing that we're going to look at is, let me get my screen pulled up. I'm trying not to make this too long. I want to get the news out to you guys and get you on your merry way. So we got some guys. This is some really cool stuff we're looking at. So this is very exciting, guys. The first thing I want to talk about is from Indicator. This is so cool. And this is actually a 4K Ultra HD, which when people were messaging me this morning, I'm not too familiar with 4K releases from Indicator as a label. I'm not saying that doesn't exist from them that much, but I'm not aware of it. Like I said, Indicator is not a label that I've purchased a lot from. I have maybe 2 or 3 releases, solid releases, good company. Their presentation's nice, very similar to Arrow Videos. So Bruiser is a George Romero film, I believe from the year 2000. How did I become aware of Bruiser? It's kind of a smaller title from George. I believe Pizzal did a Patreon request review for it. I'll keep it very spoiler free. I don't want to talk about the movie because I think it's probably somewhat fairly underground. It's not bad. It's not classic George, but it's far from the worst thing I've seen him do. So it's definitely a movie I recommend owning because, number one, it's a George Romero film. And number 2, it's a 4K UHD release of it, so it's going to look probably really good. Now, if you're wondering, is this going to get an announcement soon from America? I don't know. It's hard to say because with Indicator, I don't know how much different the ownership rights are and where those ownership rights are coming from with that label. I'm not I'm not equipped enough to know enough about that. And if I can find out, I'll update you guys on, hey, maybe there's a chance. But I don't know, because this is one of those weird titles, that just one of those weird titles. This right here is 7,000 total of these collector's releases. It looks like 5,000 are going to be 4K, and then they're going to do 2,000 Blu-ray box versions. That comes with an 80-page book essay. I believe the worm that term, Kim Noonan, author of Nightmare Movies. So it's got all kinds of special features. 5.1 surround sound. You got an audio commentary with George, an archival one with George, previously unheard audio recording with the legendary filmmaker with Jason Fleming, who was in the movie, and working with Romero. Interview with Dr. Chud, the former Misfits drummer, talks about the band's appearance in the film and its contribution to the soundtrack. Very, very cool. The Worm That Turned, 2024, Kim Noonan, author of Nightmare. Okay, so that's new that they're putting on here. So it looks like they've got some pretty cool special features on this. So very excited about that. Now I'll find out if I'll find out if Diabolic DVD or Orbit DVD are going to be able to get these on their site, and if you can pre-order it, I'll share it on my community tab when those listings go up. But this is very cool because it's a George Romero title that has not got much love on physical media, much less America. So I find this pretty damn exciting, guys. So that is that. And I want to go to Umbrella Entertainment now. So this is going to be the coolest thing, is Umbrella Entertainment. There are two things I want to talk about that are both immediate pre-orders for me. Let's talk about this now. So with Umbrella Entertainment, guys, this is extremely cool. Prime Evils. Now, what's so cool about this was a stop motion film that the great David Allen, who has done work in so many classic films, was making. Unfortunately, passed away, so he was not able to finish the film. And I believe Charlie Band, before David passed away, made like a promise to him that the movie would get finished. And finally, Charlie did finish it. They have premiered Prime Evils at a theater not too long ago. But yes, this is a really nice box set release for Prime Evils. Now America will definitely get this. Charlie Band will put Prime Evils out on physical media from Full Moon. But this is really cool. Something I'd love to kind of celebrate the film with. I've seen snippets from Prime Evils and pictures, and it just looks like such a charming, fun thing. These stop motion films are really cool. It's got a new feature-length documentary as well on this Arrow Video one. So this is really cool. But like I said, this will certainly be coming out from America too, from Full Moon. So that's cool. You can order that from Umbrella right now. And this is my favorite announcement of this. So Late Night with the Devil is definitely my favorite movie. Now, I will say this, guys. Without a shadow of a doubt, I would be willing to bet my soul RLJ or Shudder. Shudder puts out most of their physical media with RLJ Entertainment. I believe they're somewhat of like they're partners. I can't think of any Shudder titles that did not come out from RLJ, quite frankly. No doubt in my mind, Late Night with the Devil will undoubtedly be getting an American RLJ release, and I would actually probably assume a steelbook release. But this is really cool. So Umbrella teamed up with the directors to put out this really nice release. And as you can see, it comes with some cool stuff. It comes with 2 posters, a booklet, a hard box, Conversations with the Devil, which looks like a cool book that has making ofs in there. And what's really cool is you can see this is what sold me, because I'm a sucker for this stuff, the TV guide, which, when I was a kid, I used to read TV guides all the time. So they made like a TV guide kind of mashup little booklet. So cool. And this is from Umbrella themselves. So let's read this right now. The devil's in the details of this wicked collector's edition with a rigid case, art cards, reversible poster, TV guide, press kit with in-universe articles and ads. That's cool. A 48-page Conversation with the Devil book with new written content from the directors. Plus, we have uncovered the shocking VHS of the original 1977. Okay, they're saying the movie's on there. Descend further into the inferno with the behind-the-scenes reel, the making of Night Owl's music, SXSW 2023 Q&A with directors and cast, and behind-the-scenes still gallery. Here's Mr. Midnight, Jack Delroy. My favorite horror movie this year, guys, so I'm definitely going to splurge and get this. Umbrella's a really great company. Their Mario Brothers set is incredible. I'm just waiting for Garrett to get his so we can do the big party show where we open them up and show you guys everything. But I've had mine. Garrett's got lost in customs, but that's not Umbrella's fault. And they did make it right with him, if anybody's wondering about that. So that's the coolest announcement. But like I said, and I apologize because I'm going a million miles an hour. I've been drinking C4 all day. With that being said, guys, they definitely will put out a American release of this if you want it. Don't worry, this movie is way too big. It was way too successful to not get a Blu-ray from RLJ. I guarantee you they're going to at least do a regular release and more than likely a steelbook. So there you have it, guys. That is the physical media news. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you're excited for, what you're into, and what you're hoping to get announced later this year still. This is your old pal CHH. Take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Huge giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind the scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.